today's episode, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a question I get asked is, what should I do with my home to get prepared for a showing? Well, let's take a few minutes and let's talk about that. All right, so Jason Dowdy here, Weicker Realtors Tower Properties, and a lot of times I'll go to houses, show houses to clients, and it's like, I kind of wonder, does the seller actually know what they should do in order to have their house ready and presentable for when a client is coming to actually view a home? So today I'm actually doing photos out here on Long Lake Road, and I figured, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about that, and let's just start with some of the basics. Okay, so first thing, agent shows up. Sure, it might be wintertime, but let's just take a little look outside. Now, one thing that we're gonna wanna do is actually make sure that the driveway and everything is scooped nice and clean. See the car sitting out there, and it's ready, it's inviting. Nothing worse than having people try and walk into your home covered in snow. Second thing, walk into the home, and it's like, okay, are the lights on? Is it presentable? So we like to make sure we have every single light on in the house. Now, it might seem like it's a little expensive, but think of it this way. If someone comes into your home, their agent that's working with that buyer, they are more than likely going to want to try and sell the home versus spending their time walking around looking for light switches. It's a little bit embarrassing, especially when you can't figure them out. So it's a little bit easier to have everything on, ready to go. Now, let's say you live in a house that has a gas fireplace. It's not a bad idea if you also have the fireplace running, okay? Here I've actually turned it on so I can take it for the listing photos, what have you, but it's nice because then a lot of times you get questions, does it work? How well does it work? Does it have a fan? Guess what? We just eliminated a lot of that conversation so I can spend a little bit more time talking about the actual property itself. Now, let's move into the bathrooms. That's one of those things that a lot of people get wrong. So you come into the bathroom, as we can see in this one here, guess what? Toilet seat, down. Kind of a, I don't know why, but people can't figure that one out either. You know, make sure the lights are on, counters are nice and clean. So it just makes it a little more presentable. All right, so those are just some of the basic steps. Next one, let's talk about closets and organization. Now, in this one, very organized. It's not overstuffed. It's a walk-in closet, but it is presentable, okay? Storage is key. Now, let's talk about bedrooms. Beds are made, pillows are on, very, very warm, very inviting. Great job. The blinds, you know, you want to make sure you can see out your windows. Those are also very important so people aren't constantly opening and closing the blinds. All right, let's walk around. And what else can we talk about in this house? Another very important room is the kitchen, okay? Kitchens need to be kept clean, organized. You can see in here, they've got a few things on the countertops, but not bad at all. You want to make sure you have those surfaces nice and clean so that you can show that you have ample storage space on your countertops. Refrigerators, people will look in your refrigerators. Your coat closets, people will look in the coat closets. If you think I can just hide it, doesn't work so well. All right, so just to recap a little bit. Sidewalks clean, lights on, toilet seats down, countertops cleared. Another one we like to talk about, our furry little friends, right? So, you know, pets are wonderful. We love them. They're fun, but sometimes they're a little bit of a distraction. But here's our furry little friends today. You know, they're cute. They're quiet, but it is a good idea if you can remove your pets from the property or have them locked up in a note, but best is to actually have them removed from the property, okay? So what else do we need to talk about? You know, when it comes to actually showing a property, one thing buyers are also looking for, and when they're on the outside of the property, is where are the property lines? Now, that is kind of a big question. And one thing that you can do as a seller is if you don't have a corner stake, and I'm hoping this shows up, but out here, just past the trees, there is a stake. So that one's pretty evident as to where the property lines are, but I've recommended to other sellers in the past, go out there, just take some yellow, pink flags or something like that, put them roughly where you think the property lines are. So when they're looking at your house, they can actually see where the property lines might be, or at least where you think they might be, okay? So those are just a few little pointers. There's a few more things that you can do. Background music is sometimes something that people like to have in their house, so it's not that awkward silence. In this house, we don't have a stereo or anything, but we just have a TV on in the background, lightly turned down, so it's not too distracting, but at least it feels more at home. The other thing, if you have cameras, it is a very good idea to shut them off. Don't have them lying around, okay? Because people, when they look at your home, they're going to be more honest with their agent, talk about things in the home if they're not being watched while they're at the house. Make sure you follow state guidelines, because some states you can't video, you can't record while you're at the property, so make sure your agent understands what they can and cannot do. Okay. Other thoughts? Those are a lot of the basics. I'm sure there's a few other things I should probably mention in this video, but I wanted to put it out there. So if you're a seller, just a quick little recap. Make sure your walkways and stuff are clear and clean. Make sure all your lights are on, including your fireplaces. Make sure your toilet seats are down. Make sure that your counters are clear in the kitchens, the bathrooms. Pick up all your clothes on the floor. Have your temperature, that's another one I did not mention. You want to make sure you have your heat set at a reasonable, temperature, so your people aren't walking in the house and quickly saying, man, it's cold in here, let's get out. Okay? You want them to stay as long as possible so the home feels warm and inviting. All right, this is Jason Dowdy with Weichert Realtors Tower Properties. I hope that this video was a little bit informational for you. If you have more questions on do's and don'ts when showing your house, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We can walk through it. Simple things, furniture placement, any questions you might have. Love to help you open your door to bigger dreams. Jason Dowdy, Weichert Realtors Tower Properties.